Greetings, demons, and welcome to episode 4 of Warhammer Weekly. There is a lot to get into, so we're just going to jump straight into it, no preamble this time, and, yeah, roll that intro.
Not the leader of a cult, RabbitWithAxe.
So, starting off, a new month brings a new free monthly model, and as of yesterday, the 4th of March, we have the brand new Khorne Jackal, or new Khorne-themed cultist, that is now available from any Warhammer store that is participating. It doesn't have, hasn't run out of stock yet, and yeah, it's completely free. If you don't know what the free monthly model is, essentially you just go into a Warhammer store, like the actual Games Workshop branded Warhammer stores, and you just ask to make a model. You get to make it in store, or sometimes you get to take it home just immediately off the sprue, and you keep it. It's yours. But yeah, along with that, there is also 2 new coins for purchases over, I believe it's £60, or I think it's €70. I don't know the US amount. And that's the Slaves to Darkness and World Eaters coins. So 2 coins this month, pretty good. And honestly, I'm really excited for this one. The whole idea of the Jackals is very interesting to me. Having Khorne-specific cultists, I know we've had specific cultists for other factions in the Chaos Space Marines, but having cultists that are Khorne-themed is really cool to me. I'm going to be using them just as regular cultists for my army, as soon as I play Zeech. But it's still very cool that we're going to be getting one for free. And the way I actually do it, I go to a few different stores. So I'll end up with a few of these, which is very nice. But yeah, the coins as well, we haven't got a clear look at them. They are in the main like image for the article, but they're not actually in the article itself. But yeah, they look pretty good. I'm not a coin collector. I have a few of them. I actually have like 7 of... Oh, which one is it? The Cursed City coin, for some reason, because I just ended up gaining a ton of them over the course of that month. But, yeah, in any case, that is it for the free monthly model. Make sure to check it out and visit your local Warhammer store when you get a chance, I suppose. So, this week was also Warhammer World Open Day, and with that, we got some varied different reveals, which is actually kind of cool that it wasn't just reveals for, like, one faction or something. So, starting off, I'm going to go in the order that I kind of am interested in these models, though, honestly, I think they're all pretty good in their own way. But starting off, we have Boss Snickrot, and this is a new version of Boss Snickrot. We've had, I think, only one other model of this guy before, but he is the Orc, I guess, I was about to say tactical, but that's really more of a Space Marine thing, but he is the stealth operative, and he has his all, like, his Tom Clancy, what's that game series? Oh, the mask with all the lights on it so you can see in the dark and stuff. It's a very cool model. The original is actually one of my favourite Orc bosses. I unfortunately don't actually have that model. I hope I can get it eventually, but it's not been available for a good while, I don't believe, especially from Warhammer themselves. But in any case, this new Boss Snickrot comes with alternate heads to have either the mask completely off, the mask completely on, or the mask just like up, which is very nice. I do quite like the variety though. Honestly, I feel like if you're going to be getting Snickrot, you're going to have him with his mask down all the time. So it's nice to have the variety, it's nice to have the extra parts. It just means you have extra heads for your other bosses, or your other characters, or whatever for the Orcs. But at the end of the day, most people are not going to be using the alternate heads for Snickrot himself. One major point of contention with this new model, and I have to agree with it does take away a lot from this. The old model had a little shush finger, so he had his little finger just pointing up in front of his mouth, just saying, you know, shh, be quiet, you know, that sort of thing. This model doesn't have that, and, you know, while this model looks amazing, you know, it's obviously, it's new, it's fresh, it has all the niceties of modern 40k, the fact it doesn't have that little bit of personality is kind of disappointing. I'm not huge on it. I would much rather it actually be, you know, essentially just a carbon copy, just an updated version, you know, slightly bigger, a little bit more detailed, but just still the same overall feel. And I could see myself definitely just like getting the old model, taking that arm and putting it on the new model, just because at the end of the day, the new model looks phenomenal. It looks so much better, but just lacking in that one element of the little shush finger, it kind of ruins it. It ruins it for me, and it's a shame because, you know, I go with the whole stealthy way of doing things when it comes to Orcs. I really do like that aspect. I mean, I literally paint my Orcs to be purple skinned rather than green skinned, just because I think it's funny that, you know, purple's a stealthy colour and everything. It's a shame that Snickrot, the one orc known for being truly stealthy, for being truly silent, the one that I'd actually want to have leading my army, it's not perfect, and it's a shame. But in any case, I am very excited for this model. I'm probably going to be getting it anyway. But yeah, Boss Snickrot, very, very cool reveal. I'm really happy with this one. And moving on from the orcs over to the Tau Empire, we have a brand new Commander Farsight, and I'm going to be honest, I don't care about the Tau really. I like some of the battle suits, but not all of them, and I like the Kroot. The Kroot are my favourite thing about Tau, but yeah, Commander Farsight, very well-known character within the Tau. I don't really care too much. The old model I thought was perfectly good. I thought it fit in very, very well. Obviously, it's a very old model, but it still looked unique, and it still looked good, and the posing was really nice. This new one, it's a huge upgrade, don't get me wrong, it looks so much better. I love how much more curved it is compared to the regular battlesuit, and, you know, how much slimline it is, and, like, all the little niche things, and little armor pads, and everything that just makes it different, makes it unique. It's really cool, and a lot of people are suggesting, based on the fact that we're actually getting a whole, what are they called? An Arcs of Omen boarding patrol based off this. It's very likely that Commander Farsight's model is going to be usable as just a regular, like, HQ choice for any faction, which would be very, very neat indeed. But yeah, generally, I don't know. I like this model. I think it's very cool. I am not interested in the slightest in actually getting it. It's still just a Tau battlesuit. At the end, to me, as someone who hasn't read any of the books with Commander Farsight, I don't really care. I don't have a connection with this character. I'm not a Tau player by any means. The only way I would ever be playing Tau is in Kill Team, and that's with Kroot. So, yeah, I'm really just not that interested, but I know a lot of people are. A lot of my friends in the community, and just friends in real life as well, that play Warhammer are extremely excited for this model. So, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna shit on anyone on anyone's thoughts on this. I think it's a very, very good model, and yeah, when it comes out, I'm sure people will be very excited. As I said, it is going to be in a boarding patrol. I believe, actually, is the, yeah, there's also an orc boarding patrol with the new Snickrot. I'm not going to go over those in detail, but I will have them on screen just now, just so you can see them. But, yeah, it's very much a case of, the boarding patrols are very much, here's a new HQ, here's some matching models, there you go. And, yeah, a lot of people have had a little bit of an issue with how essentially the boarding patrol for Tau is now just specifically Farsight. But as I say, a lot of people are expecting that we're going to get some sort of, not rules, but just some sort of outlining that Commander Farsight can be just ran as any, battlesuit commander. So that would be nice. But, yeah, there we go. Farsight's got a new model. Looks great. I'm just not that interested in it. And now, moving on to something in the world of AOS, in the Mortal Realms. This is something that I really, really like, but will not be getting. And there's a main reason for that, but let's just get into it. The Realm Gore Ritualist. Yeah, that's right, another core model. We don't have enough of those. And, yeah, it's very cool. I like this model a lot. It is very neat. All of the skull iconography is just so well done. I do really like it, and we'll get into this towards the end of the video. But this model is what this week's rumor engine was, so kind of weird that they would tease it like 2 days before it was actually announced. But in any case, this model is so cool. I love that the tactical rock is actually a ritual table. That's smart, because it mixes it up. Every model nowadays has a tactical rock, especially HQs and like elites and stuff. They always have tactical rocks. It's really, really cool that this one actually is themed around the model. Because usually it's just a rock that they have their foot on or whatever. This one being a ritual table is so very, very cool. As for why I'm not getting it, it's a core model in AOS. I don't play Chaos at all in AOS. I play Destruction, so there's no reason at all for me to have this model. As much as I do like it, I think it's a very nice looking model. I play Destruction and whatever the steampunk dwarves are. I can't remember what faction they are, what grouping they are, but I think they might be Order. I'm not actually sure. But yeah, I don't play Chaos in AOS, so there's no reason for me to have this model. And that's kind of the unfortunate thing. It's like, I'm not going to waste money, essentially, on, a new Khorne model just for the sake of having this new Khorne model. It's not for me, but I'm sure a lot of people that play, Chaos in general within AOS are going to be excited. There is actually a new battle tome for Blades of Khorne, which is very nice, though. We'll get into this with the next one. This art for the Chaos battle tome of Blades of Khorne is really good. It's really well done. I'm going to get into why I'm bringing it up in just a moment when we cover the next thing. There is also going to be a Vanguard for the Blades of Khorne that includes the new model, which looks pretty good. Honestly, if I was going to be getting into Chaos, Age of Sigmar, Khorne is probably the way I'd go, just because they have the, I forgot what they're called, but the big, bull creatures, which I just think are really cool. I just think they look really cool. But, yeah, a new Vanguard, a new Battle Tome, and a very, very good new model. And moving on to the final reveal for Warhammer World Open Day, we have the Lord of Hubris. So once again, a Age of Sigmar Chaos model. This one is Slaaneshi, which, once again, I don't play Slaanesh, I play Tzeentch. If I was going to be playing, anything, it's going to be Tzeentch, unless, the core models look cool. The Slaaneshi models, to me, don't. So, for me, it's Khorne or Tzeentch. That's always the option for AOS, specifically for 40k, is Tzeentch or go home, because I don't really like the other Chaos Space Marine factions, but, yeah, it's definitely a Slaaneshi model. It's a bit excessive, it's a bit, excessive, but, yeah, it's a Slaaneshi model. I really don't care about this one. It looks nice. I like the sword. The shield is pretty good. The posing overall, the come at me bro sort of posing is very, very nice. I don't get the hair, because this character is bald and then has this helmet with very long tendrils of hair coming off it. It's a very odd design. I think it's very Slaanesh, as I say. It's the most Slaaneshi thing ever. I don't know. It's a bit much for me. I don't love Slaaneshi AOS designs, and this is no exception, unfortunately. It's fine. I'm sure people are gonna paint it up very well. I'm sure people are gonna be really excited for this model. I just really don't care for it. Once again, this is gonna be coming in a new Vanguard for Heathen Knights of Slaanesh, which is very cool. It has all the what are they called? The ridables, the little horse creatures that have anteater tongues and stuff. I really like those models. But yeah, along with that, a new Chaos Battle Tome for Heathen Knights of Slaanesh. And the art on this one is just bad. It's a repaint or a redesign or a recolouring or whatever of an existing piece of art for Heathen Knights of Slaanesh or just Slaaneshi in general. And the lighting is just wrong. It looks off, especially compared to the Khorne Battle Tome that we just looked at. This one's just wrong. Its colouring is off. I don't know how else to say. It's just, it looks off. I don't like it. But, yeah, I'm sure people are going to be fine with it. It's the front cover of a book. Most people, when they have their book, stored away, it's just the spine that they can see, so it doesn't really matter. It's just something that bugs me, because it just looks so wrong. But, yeah, that is really going to be it for the Lord of, what's his name? Lord of Hubris, and, yeah, just moving on from there. And jumping into the world of Necromunda, we have the Sanctioner Pattern Automaton, aka police robots in Necromunda. It's not a, unheard of thing within 40k to have, robot police, essentially. This one is very Robocop, very Judge Dredd, though it isn't, obviously, Adeptus, whatever they're called, so that we got in 40k Kill Team recently. But it's about Dreadnought-sized, which is very, very interesting. Essentially is an Ogryn-sized Dreadnought. It just doesn't have an actual physical living pilot in it, or near-death pilot in it, I suppose, in the case of a Dreadnought. It's just a robot, it's an automaton. It looks very cool. They are police robots, as I said. And, fortunately, these are actually going to be in plastic, in a box too, which is very, very nice. I am kind of interested in these. There's a lot of Necromunda models that I do kind of want to try out, and most of them are the automatons. They all look very, very cool. I love the different weapon options. There's an electro baton, there's like a cannon, a little electric like Pokeprod thing, the like regular hands, like a missile launcher and stuff like that. There's so many little niceties when it comes to the weaponry. I really do like it. But yeah, once again, I like this. I might get it. I don't know. Necromunda has so many great models. Unfortunately, most of them are now coming to plastic, which is something I can't say for heresy. We'll get into it. We'll get into that. But yeah, it's new automatons for Necromunda. There's not really much to say about them. They look very cool. I really do like them. But yeah, that's really all I can say about them. And moving into the Horus Heresy, some Warhammer 30k, we have the Despoiler Squad upgrade sets, and yeah, I mentioned it. These are once again upgrade sets for 30k that are in resin. You heard me right. These are upgrade kits for Space Marines in Warhammer 30k that are still being released in resin. I don't understand you, Warhammer. I don't understand you, Games Workshop. Like, just shut down that site. Just get rid of Forge World. Forge World is not needed anymore. Just keep it around for, like, the Titans, and just everything else can stop. It's so stupid to me. We literally have been promised that we're going to be moving away from the whole, resin thing for infantry especially. And, they've done a decent job with tanks, to be fair to them. Like, most tanks that release, and, dreadnoughts and stuff, are in plastic. But then, I mean, we recently had it with the dreadnought upgrades, where they were in resin, and now we've got infantry upgrades with the Despoiler Squad upgrade sets that are also in resin. And these are literally just the resin equivalent of chainswords. They're just resin chainswords and a power axe and some bolt guns. That's what they are, and it's so redundant. It makes no sense to me why these wouldn't be in plastic, because at the end of the day, if these were in plastic, they could sell them at Warhammer stores, they could sell them like pretty much anywhere that sells Warhammer stuff, and, you'd be able to use these in any number of ways. Instead, they are locked to Forge World. You'll only be able to get them from there unless, your friend at the local game store orders them in, or I guess you order them in from your local Warhammer store for whatever reason. I don't know why you would do that, just order them home. But, yeah, it's resin again, and I don't understand why. I really like these sorts of upgrade sets. The fact they keep releasing them in resin is so annoying to me. Because at the end of the day, like, it's fine to have some resin in 30k. It's fine. It's going to happen. There's no chance they're going to upgrade everything to plastic. But stop making new things in resin. Like, it annoys me so much that they keep doing this, because they did this with the dreadnoughts. They got rid of the old resin dreadnoughts, gave us upgrades for the current plastic dreadnought, but then the current upgrades for the plastic dreadnoughts are resin. It's just, it's annoying. It's so frustrating to me, and I don't get why they keep doing it. But yeah, they're chainswords and bolt guns and a power axe. Very cool, very neat. I'm never going to touch these, and it's really unfortunate. Especially, like, you can just get power axes and chainswords and bolt guns. You can just get them from various different sources in plastic and just use those instead. Like, that's what most people have been doing. It's just stupid. It's so stupid to me. But yeah, I'm sure somebody out there is going to be interested. I hate resin. I hate working with it. It's the worst. And I really hope, for the sake of GW, that Forge World gets pushed aside eventually, because this is just getting stupid now. And moving on to the Rumour Engine, as I said earlier in the video, the Rumour Engine this time around was a Skull Staff, and it's probably Chaos, and it might have been Slaves to Darkness, and it turns out it's just the Realm Gore Ritualist, which was released the same week, or announced, should I say, the same week. It's just, I don't get, normally Rumour Engines don't happen like this, normally it's a little bit further, actually, in fact, the which one was it? Was it Farsight? No, Snickrot. Snickrot has the little smoke grenade that was in a video, not in a video, in a rumor engine like 3 weeks ago. That's fine, because that was 3 weeks ago. Why did they announce on the 28th of February that this was coming up, when 4 days later they then announced the model that it belongs to? It makes no sense at all to me, but I'm not gonna get annoyed at Warhammer and, you know, the Warhammer community team for stuff like that, because that's a bit stupid to get annoyed at. I'm already annoyed enough about Forge World, so let's just get into the final topic of the video. And our final topic is going to be something a little bit different. If you're familiar with Warhammer Plus, you'll know that there are exclusive shows that are based in the Warhammer universe, and the newest of those is Iron Within. I did actually watch it, and spoilers ahead for that, so if you don't want to be spoiled for that, either watch it now and continue watching, or alternatively, leave. So if you are going to be leaving and don't want to hear the spoilers for Iron Within, you know, thanks for watching, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you next time. But, yeah, spoilers ahead for Iron Within on Warhammer TV. So, now that everyone is gone that has either not seen it at all or doesn't want spoilers, Iron Within is so good. It's honestly, it's the first of the animated shows or animated movies or shorts or whatever you want to call them that I've actually watched from Warhammer TV, and I was very interested in seeing where this one went, and my god, it went places. So, of course, Iron Within, Iron Without is the motto for the Iron Warriors, so it's very obvious that is where it's going to be. And we mostly actually follow a bunch of Adeptus Mortarum, or Guard, as most people actually refer to them as, and I'm amazed at how much I was made to care about Guard, because I generally don't, even in, you know, the audiobooks and stuff that I've listened to. I never really care about Guard. I ended up really liking some of these characters and really caring about their struggle, which is always very fun. So, essentially, we have a world under siege by Drukhari, by Dark Eldar, whatever you want to call them, and the Guard are wanting to call upon, you know, the angels, the angels of the Emperor, the Space Marines, to help. And, you know, it goes a long time, they get pretty much destroyed, before suddenly, what is that? That's a drop pod, and it's actually Space Marines coming to help them. Except they are not Space Marines in the typical sense, because these are, as you'd expect, Iron Warriors, and I went a long time forgetting that Iron Warriors were Traitor Legion. I honestly, like, how it's all set up, you're kind of made to forget. And it's kind of weird to say that, because obviously, you know, 30k is such a big part, you know, the whole Horus Heresy is such a big part of 40k lore, that, like, it seems weird to forget that Legion is a Traitor Legion. I honestly was left shocked when suddenly, you know, the Iron Warriors are just murdering Guard and civilians and just destroying everything, and it's so odd to me, like, that I just, for some reason in my head, I was like, oh no, they're fine, they're just the tech ones, you know, they're fine, they'll not have an issue. It's like, no, they are the issue, they are going to kill everything, and there is so much carnage. It's one of those things where, you know, Warhammer Plus, from what I've heard of the other movies, the other shorts, generally the animation isn't spectacular, and I'd say that's probably the case with Iron Within as well, unfortunately. But at the same time, this goes places that I never expected from a Warhammer animation, and it's so very good. I love the main Iron Warrior is a not Dreadnought, the big armor guys, what are they called? That's gonna really annoy me. But yeah, he is so imposing. He has the lovely I call it the elephant helmet. I know it's more like what would it be more like? More like a mammoth or something. But I love that design. He is so imposing over everything, and just there's so much great stuff. The entire Drukhari threat, it's not how I envision Drukhari. You know, Drukhari is so often, you know, said to be all like acrobatic and, you know, magical in their killing. I know that's also Harley Quinn's thing, but, you know, the savagery is there, but, like, the excess is not, because obviously Drukhari do what they do to fend off Slaanesh. They get as close to Slaanesh as they can in order to stop Slaanesh getting them, and it's an interesting way of doing things. But yeah, there's not really enough for me in terms of them being actual how Drukhari are in the lore, so to speak. But yeah, they are very, very cool. I do really love them. I really like as well, because obviously Eldari know a lot more about chaos than humans do. There's a section where the leader of the Drukhari is essentially going, "You fools, you've invited the Iron Warriors here. Don't you remember they are traitors to humanity? Like, they are Chaos Space Marines." It's so weird to be hearing from an enemy of mankind. You know, the Drukhari are against humanity, like 99% of the time. And they're stood just looking at these guards like, "You have killed us all. We're all dead because you've invited Chaos Space Marines." It's so interesting to me how it's done. And you know, the major spoiler of the end, we have two main characters. We have essentially the Commissar, and then we have just a leader of the guards, just like a top-ranking member of the guard. And at the end, the Space Marine leader, or Chaos Space Marine leader, sorry, gives them a choice of whether to kneel and, you know, give in and, you know, essentially be allowed to live, quote-unquote, or not. And the Commissar type accepts it. He kneels and accepts his new Chaos Space Marine overlords in order to protect the people. Whereas the leader, you know, guardswoman, whatever you want to call her, she doesn't. And then it's revealed that was a trick. And the guardsman, is the one that is left to lead, because the Commissar is just killed. The Commissar's head is put on a spike, and that is it for him, because the Chaos Space Marines wanted someone that has resilience. They didn't want someone who would just give everything up in order to save his people. They wanted someone who would fight. And, you know, the world gets turned into a mining operation by the Chaos Space Marine, by the Iron Warriors, and that's the end. And it's such a powerful ending. I really did enjoy it. But yeah, that is Iron Within. If I was to give it a rating out of 10, it's probably a solid 8. The animation probably knocks it down a little bit more than it probably should be, but the story honestly was great. I love, like, not the twist. I mean, there is obviously the ending twist that's really good, but the, like, twist, quote unquote, of the Iron Warriors is very good, even though most people wouldn't consider that a twist. You know, it's just, I forgot. I was honestly like, oh yeah, the Iron Warriors are here. You know, they're here to save the day. I completely just blanked it from my mind that they're chaos, that they're traitors. So yeah, it was a very good watch. I really did enjoy it. And it makes me want to check out the other Warhammer Plus shows. I definitely will. I'm subscribed anyway, so I might as well. But yeah, that is going to be it. So with everything covered today, there's quite a lot. This is a long episode, to be fair. But in any case, that's going to be it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like it, subscribe if you're new to here, and ring that bell so you never miss an upload. Otherwise, it's going to be it from me. Comment below what you think of any of the topics. Have you seen Iron Within? Have you got thoughts on that? Tell me below. But yeah, otherwise, I hope to see you next time. And yeah, bye.
Look at the screen, you'll be fine. Cultures of disease, but worlds divine. I just wanna take